Every year, we get a lot of questions about how do we handle long-term storage for our engines, particularly carbureted engines. Well, to start from the top, we need to deal with the fuel side of things first. Now, the fuel itself can be the biggest problem for us in long-term storage. As you're probably well aware, over the years, there's been more and more ethanol content been added to the fuel to help make it cleaner for tailpipe emissions. And while ethanol isn't a bad thing by itself, when it becomes mixed with moisture and oxygen, that's when it begins to go to work and attack the fuel system components. So what we need to do for long-term storage is start with fresh, regular unleaded gasoline, and we need to treat that fuel sample that we're going to be placing in the fuel tank of the machine or the engine and run the engine for at least 10 to 15 minutes with that treated fuel. What that does for us, it ensures that all of the treated fuel has made it all the way from the fuel tank to all the jets in the carburetor. So from that point forward, we need to stop fuel flow to the engine with either a shutoff valve, or if the fuel tank is nearly depleted, we're going to go ahead and proceed to run the engine until it physically runs out of gas. At that point, the engine will no longer run, but we need to take it a few steps further to ensure everything is removed from the carburetor. So you would engage the choke to full and attempt to start the engine until it will no longer attempt to start. Once that has been achieved, we are now confident that our fuel system is completely treated and ready to go for long-term storage. Anything left that's in the carburetor bowl will be treated fuel at that point. From there, we can take an opportunity to do some preventative maintenance on the machine as well. You can do things like spark plugs, air filters. You can change the engine oil and oil filter. It is highly recommended that you change the fuel filter as well if the unit has a replaceable fuel filter. And lastly, before storage is complete, you're going to want to disconnect the battery if the engine is electric starter equipped. This just ensures that any residual drain on the system will not deplete the battery over the storage months.